Peace. What's going on, world? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Starting the day off today. I figured I'd get my video out the way because I got a bunch of stuff to do today and got shooting to do and videos to do. So I figured I'd take care of that. Speaking of, I forgot to call somebody. Which after this video, I gotta go ahead and call them. So, started off, you already know this video is being brought to you by Voss and Bridges. Go to the website, check out the merch, get you something, man. Get you something to stay fly, keep you fly. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And, you know, just to go ahead and get it out the way, it was a few things that I was supposed to have been making a video about and supposed to have been talking about, but I made it my business to kind of hold off from doing that because I had other things going on, so I didn't want to put those things in front of some other things. So, you know, you try to get, I guess, the bad shit out the way first. At least I do, because I really don't even like dealing with like bad stuff, regardless of what the situation is. I just really don't be liking to deal with bad stuff. So went ahead and got that on the agenda first so I can take care of that. Truth on the set. Because I got feedback. You know, it wasn't a lot of people that said something on the video. It wasn't people that left comments or it was some people that actually contacted me and, you know, said some things and had a couple things to say. It wasn't even anything that I took to be negative. You know, it was some slurs used and whatnot. And some people felt the way and some people had something to say or whatever. But, you know, at the end of the day, just like I tell everybody I've talked about it too, if these things had not happened to me, then I wouldn't have these things to talk about, then would I? You know, so this is not one of those things that something's going to happen or we just going to brush it under the rug. No. I have 6 years of negatives being pushed my way that I didn't ask for. So, you know, if you hear me talking about something and you feel like it's you, it just might be. But then you have to realize that I didn't ask you for your negatives. I came into every single position, regardless of what motorcycle club I was with, regardless of who I was hanging around with, or whatever the case might have been. I didn't bring no negatives into nobody's situation. So therefore, I shouldn't have received negatives. So, you know, if people think that, you know, I'm one of them bitch-ass ones to just sit back and not say anything, nah, you're wrong. I had one sucker-ass clown to tell me, oh, you know what you're doing is kind of like snitching, right? For real? Nobody's going to jail over what I'm talking about. Nobody's losing any money over what I'm talking about. And nobody definitely is being put in harm's way over nothing I'm talking about. So, you know, if you want to try and characterize it a different way because you don't like what I'm saying, then more than likely I'm probably talking about your dumb ass, boy. Nah, man, miss me with the dumb talk too, yo. Like, cause like I said, I asked for peace to begin with. All right, let me break something down too. Before I came into the motorcycle world, I was riding dirt bikes, like for real. I owned a motorcycle because I chose to buy one, but I really wasn't riding it like that. I was riding dirt bikes, and everybody that is somebody that know me will tell you, I was riding dirt bikes. Word on my bro AJ. I miss you, boy. I really do. I miss you a lot. Because of him and the bond that we had, in early 90s, me and him talked, and, I was telling him about, New York Willie Boys and how the set go hard, and it ain't no stress. You can just get up with your guys and ride the city, and shit was dope. And so me telling him about that, he was like, that's something that we should do here. And that was the beginning of like Bull City Willie Boys. After some time had progressed and whatnot, like I had went to prison and he had got locked up too, but it was still like Bull City Willie Boys. Like nothing about it had changed. But when he came home or whatnot, I felt like he had another view on something else. Like maybe he wanted to do something else, and under all pretenses, like, pardon me, he got my approval. He got my love about it, because regardless of whatever, we still gonna meet up in the street. We still gonna hit each other up. So it was nothing. So he said that he was gonna start up a new thing called Bike World, and I was like, all right, word, whatever the case, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool, just holler at me, whatever, get up, whatever. Because I guess, he seen that I was leaning more towards the motorcycle world. And to be truthful, I was kind of leaning more towards it, because, things wasn't going right for me and him. Like, either he would be home and I had got locked up, or I had got locked up and he was home, and it was kind of bad timing or whatever. But when we used to see each other, whatever, we always used to be like BC Willie Boys for life, and that was our little thing or whatever. Like I said, rest in peace to bro. Miss you, cuz, like, straight up. And in any event, as things went on, I found myself being in like the motorcycle world for real, like dealing with different people and going to different events, and just having different places to go, different cities to go, and not doing that with dirt bikes, like, that provided a whole new element to me, because I hadn't really thought about the fact that cats get together in other cities and have fun, and come to other people's cities and ride their city with them, and it's dope. So I hadn't even looked at it like that. I was just like, in the city, we're gonna turn up in the city, it's gonna be real, whatever. So the first time that I went to Raleigh, on a stunt R6. I remember being on the highway, and I'm in sixth gear, almost giving this thing everything I got, and I'm topping out at like 82 miles an hour. because I had a I think I had a 62 or a 64 two sprocket on the back, and I just remember like, man, this is gonna be a long ride. But in any event, we got to where we got to, and it was just like a stunt, a stunt practice type of deal, if you will. And I just got with other guys that were stunting, and we kind of hung out, and it was dope. I really didn't like the fact that I couldn't go like 100 miles an hour and whatnot, but I got over it, and it was cool because we had a bum ass time out there, and we used to get up at like at UPS plants and whatnot, and behind them they had like a whole bunch of open space. And like mostly any warehouse or old warehouse that you're gonna go to have plenty of parking space and plenty of just like open space. So we used to go and stunt in them spaces and whatnot, and shit was cool, man. A lot of it was cool, and this was way before I had even decided to become a part of the set. So, when I say that it wasn't even my thought process to be on the set, like I really mean that. Like I seen people that was on the set, I knew people that was on the set, like, but my mind frame, I wasn't thinking about that shit. You know what I mean? Like I had other shit that I had going on, and those things wouldn't allow me to commit myself to the set or to the scene, if you will. So that was the first thing from my mind. But after a few years went on, and just going to Raleigh and going to Cary and going to Chapel Hill, and just stunting with some of the guys that I knew. I got with some guys that I knew, on the other side, like, and they was on the set, and like I always thought it was, like I told you, I always thought it was dope, to be able to ride in formation and to go to other people's city and to fraternize and to brotherhood with guys, and I always thought that was dope as hell. You know what I mean? Like I really didn't think of, or I really didn't have it in my mind that it was so much politics in it, and so many people that was trying to pull so many strings from this aspect, from that aspect, and when I started to see it, I had to reel myself back in. Like, are they really doing this shit? Is this really what's going on? And so, yeah, as I witnessed more of it, it was like, yeah, this is what they doing, and it's like, nah, they not hiding it or nothing. So it's like you can rock with it or rock on. Like, okay. So fast forward to me playing different roles, being in different positions, being the president of a whole nother club. Before I decided that I was going to have my club, I just knew what I didn't want in my club. I knew what I was going to bring to the table. I knew what I was going to do. I was going to follow protocol. I was going to follow the rules, regulations, and guidelines that was taught to me as a kid by old school bikers. That's what meant something to me, and it wasn't to belittle or try to handle anybody else that was in another motorcycle club. My main thing was following protocol. Period. I really didn't care nothing about what nobody had going on. I didn't care who had what to say about this club and the backbiting and all that other dumb shit. I didn't care nothing about it. Only time I cared about it is when we became the topic of discussion. And when we became the topic of discussion, no part of me was happy about it. Because the only thing that I could think of, and the only thing that was ringing in my mind was the things that people told me, things that people said to me, and ultimately somebody telling me that peace ain't enough. I lived my whole life by peace. How the fuck you gonna tell me it ain't enough? There was no way that I could balance that thought process in my mind. Like, peace has always been enough for me. Can't speak for other people, but peace will always be enough. And especially in my club, because peace was an acronym. Peace meant something. Peace meant positive energy and constant elevation. So me and my guys, we was on some elevating shit. Not playing y'all dumbass game and staying stagnant how you wanted us to do. And it's like, who does that? Like, who doesn't accept change? But see, everybody accepted change when cats started putting the politics into the game. Because, I mean, we all remember, going to Myrtle Beach and seeing beach riders. I said I really wasn't going to name like clubs and whatnot, but yo, man, it's so many clubs, man, that I remember just being around and seeing them and them inspiring me to want to stop running from the cops and whatnot. And, you know what I mean? Like, made me want to get a bike and take them trips to Myrtle and ride to Virginia Beach. And yeah, man. Yeah. Like, it's clubs that was right here in the bowl that motivated me, that inspired me a whole lot, yo. And I've had conversations with a lot of Bull City veterans, and I'm not choosing to repeat anybody's words or anything like that, but we got the power to change this shit, though. At least for Bull City. I can't put forth energy to say something about somebody else's city when, I know for a fact I'm not really in that city. I'm not in their community. And, I haven't put forth an effort to make a difference in other people's communities. You know what I mean? But what I do know is, if I was getting money, and I was getting a substantial amount of money, I would be making sure that every single month I'm putting into the community that's supporting me, if that is the case. And I know for a fact if my community is supporting me, then I'm going to have more than one or two events to show the people that I'm with the people, or to let the people know that this is just not a take situation. You know what I mean? This is a give situation. Because I have trades to work anywhere if I choose to sustain my life. So I don't need handouts from anybody to sustain my life or to sustain my lifestyle. And anybody that had ever been a part of my club will tell you, for the first 2.5 years, first 3 years, I didn't ask for no dues, I didn't ask for no fees and none of that. Because I came up with different ways in order for us to survive, in order for us to have events and do things. You know, that marketing, promotion, and accounting, all them classes that I took, all of those things mean something. And I mean, it's not like you just looking at me like I'm some dummy. I'm college educated, fool. I just look like this. I spend more time reading and not on social media than anything else. Like, I love to read. Some of the best things that you will come to find out will be in some of these people's journals that people took the time to think about and intricately write about. Y'all just thought I was some fool that just wanted to be a part of the set. Like, nah. But I told everybody, don't fuck with me, yo. And I made it perfectly clear, don't fuck with me. Because I didn't put forth any energy to say, I'm going to do something to you or I'm going to handle you a certain way. No, I said that I'm going to take care of things the way I'm supposed to, respectfully. And in my mind, it was, if you take care of things respectfully, then almost everybody is going to respect it, right? You know, that's the way it's supposed to be. The respectable, respected. At least that's what I was taught in my young life. But you know, you got so many old heads out here trying to run game. And it don't matter if you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s. You know, if you older than cats and you see cats trying to do right, instead of you trying to run game and trying to line your pockets and all of that, it should be a conversation that should be had in order to pass on knowledge. Because, you know, when you got people like me that can absorb everything that you send at them, all the bullshit, all the fucking slanders, all that shit, the talking behind my back, all that shit. When you got somebody that can absorb all of it and then come to a point of having moments of clarity to whereas I can regurgitate all of this shit that was done to me, don't be mad that I'm talking about it. Be mad that your dumb ass did it. That would be the perfect place to start, with your ass. With your damn self. Stupid. A lot of this shit is funny to me. Because my thing is, how long did you think somebody's just gonna sit back and watch the shit and watch the shit and watch the shit while everybody's watching it, but not that many people are man enough to speak up and say something about the shit? Because when we go to other people's sets, when we go to other people's cities, shit ain't being handled like this. Motherfuckers ain't getting handled like that. Year after year after year after year, like this is it, this is what the fuck to offer. And then a motherfucker wanna say, oh, you can Just go to your local events and then go to the PROC and then you'll be good. Really? Like, I respect everything that happens at the PROC because you get to learn a lot about being in the motorcycle world, and you get to learn from elder bikers, from veterans, about conduct and just being in this life and what it's about and what all it's not about. So you never hear me say nothing negative about the PROC. I think that was a dope ass idea. Whoever came up with it, I salute you, my hat's off to you. Because that's some peaceful shit to get that many people in an area for networking and dopeness. Salute, yo. But don't sit back and tell me that this is like the only thing that you have to travel to do and shit'll be alright. Like, what about the club that officiated you? What about the club that blessed you in? Don't you have to go to mother? Don't you have to pay homage to them? Because ultimately, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here, correct? So, you know, I don't know what aspect, what point of view, what thought process some of these people come from. Because paying homage should be first. Coming into some shit that your ass ain't never dealt with ever in life. Even having siblings or cousins or uncles or parents in it, you should come into something that you never had nothing to do with, paying homage and being respectful. Not like you run something or you hold yourself higher than other people and all that shit. Cause like I've always been told, ain't no dominance in the 99, dummy. You know what I mean? If you want to be dominant, you need to go get a diamond. At least that's what I was told. I was just taught more respect for the set, man. You know. But until next time, always keep your head to the sky. Never understand. Hold. Let me bring that back. Don't never ever stop looking at what the big picture is. It could be a little picture right now. It could be a cartoon right now. It could just be a doodle right now. But as long as you have your blockers up so that you can stay the course and understand what your goal is. Not what nobody else's goal is, not what somebody thinks your goal should be, but what your goal is. Stay focused on your goal. Keep your head to the sky. And even in bad times and negative times, be able to smile and be able to tell people, have a nice day. Until next time, people. Peace.